Hey there, Christina here at Ginger Mama Tarot, coming at you with your Scorpio Divine Masculine reading for the month of August. Welcome. I am happy to be here tonight. I am a little like, eh, eh, because as I tried to channel for you Divine Masculine Scorpio placements, it was like nothing would come in, which doesn't normally happen to me. If anything, normally I feel like I have too many downloads. And so maybe you're feeling like that. You're just like blank. Like, I don't know what to do. Deer in headlights. Like, you don't know what to do right now. Or maybe you're just wanting to start anew. Like, completely wipe the slate clean. Like, it was white. It was like a white wall. That's all I could channel for you. And that doesn't mean it's anything bad. That can be good, right? A white wall is a blank canvas that we can create and paint on. And there you go. Maybe that's a channeled message, right? You can throw the colors and the shades and the textures that you want. But yeah, it's like, I feel like many of you right now, masculine Scorpio, it's like you're overflowing with emotions, especially coming out of Cancer season. You're like really like, oh my God, you've had some type of breakthrough, but you're concerned that you will not have victory if you move forward with this. You're feeling like you've had a ton of swords in your back. I get that. Past, present, future, lots of energies. Ace of Pentacles confirming, which I always take as the hand of God. Through the yellow brick road is new earth. It is about money and abundance, but I just made an agreement when I started reading tarot that the Ace of Pentacles would be the hand of God. So that is how I read in my tarot. If you watch me on TikTok, that's what I do. But let's get into the astrology first, okay, before we read more into the cards. So, first week of August, okay? What's on the docket? What's on the docket? What's on the lineup? We have the moon in Libra, then we have the moon in Scorpio. And again, your Scorpio placements, if you especially have Libra placements as well, this might be kind of a big shift for you this week. It's like coming out of that healing energy of Cancer. And I know people don't like to look at it as healing, but I hear a helicopter going off. It is. Those emotions you poured out were healing. They were breakthroughs, okay? And whether that was around past karmic connections, past family members, past trauma, past shadow with your, parents, whatever pain it might be, or if it's also around the way you feel towards your counterpart, whatever it might be, I feel like you're kind of coming full circle in the first week of August, where you're kind of like, okay, let me catch my breath, right? Yeah, as a leg uprighter, let me catch my breath. And you're going to be able to do that. But as we move into that first and second weekend of August, the 7th of August might be a good time to speak your truth, okay? It's called the Lionsgate Portal. It is the 7th of August. It's the 7th day. We're in Leo season. That's why it's a lion. And it's a big portal. Last year at this time for me, for many divine feminines, it was a huge portal for us. It was a huge clarity. It was a huge light switch of like, nope, this is my person. And so maybe for you, it's gonna be that. I mean, we'll see, right? But understand that's up to you, what you want to communicate, but completely up to you. But yeah, as I adjust, and I did this in my last reading, it's weird. It's like, I feel like my dress doesn't move, and then I get on here, and I'm like, it's like, you know what you want, but there are these slight adjustments you're making because you're realizing that like your emotions have to play a role in the future of who you want to be. It's like you're like, I want this career, I want this life, I want this relationship. Maybe you want a family, whatever it might be, children. But you're like, if I don't change, I can't get that and attain that. And that's what I feel like you've been dealing with. And maybe you're still going to be dealing with some of those topics over the first week or two of August, okay? Let it go. Continue doing that. I mean, I'm not saying let it go. I'm saying dip into that. Continue to explore that, right? As we approach the full moon in the month of August, which is in Aquarius, understand Aquarius is also a fixed placement, and you, Scorpios, are fixed placements. So it's that energy of like, you're very like, this is the way it is. I don't change. It takes a lot for you to really move something forward. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need fixed energy, but we also need forward drive, right? And like going forward in life. So ask yourselves, like, where am I at? Where do I want to go? And where do I want to be fixed at next? Right? Like, I feel like that's kind of what you're exploring right now. Like, all right, I've been fixed in certain ways, and now you're letting go of those other ways, karmics, whatever, family, friends. And now you're like, where do I want to like kind of dig in now? Where can I dive deep? Where can I be myself authentically? Where that Scorpio energy, it's like, where can I dive into my subconscious and be safe? Where can I allow another to see my subconscious and feel safe? That root chakra energy. My dress, that looks kind of dark here, but it is a shade of red. And that root chakra is all about safety. It's about properly channeling anger. It's just all of that. That sacral chakra. I just feel like many of these lower chakras are beginning to open and align for you. So it's creating that mirroring effect where your higher chakras, your third eye, your crown, your throat chakra are being forced to unblock at the same time. Okay, you're being asked to speak your truth. So I think you're going to have a lot of flashes of like insight, like sudden like, oh, wait, oh, this, like that first like 8 to 10 days, maybe 15 days of the month, okay? So that's going to be the first part of the month. The second part of the month for you, Divine Masculine, is going to be a little bit more masculine energy, shall we say. It's going to be a lot more get real with yourself. Is your job working for you? Is your career working for you? We enter Virgo season on the 22nd, and then on the 24th, we have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And again, Taurus, fixed placement energy. I mean, we're talking a lot of like, and Virgo too. It's like, what are you going to do? Where do you want to be? What job do you really want? The job you're in now, is it emotionally fulfilling? The relationship, look at this, I split this. Let me backpedal for a second. If you can first, before the 11th, you guys, before the full moon in Aquarius, if you can, look at this, 9 of Cups, 10, 11, 2 of Cups here, 11, twins, whatever. You know at this point, 11, 11, you might be seeing a lot too. If you can tell the truth to this person of how you feel and restructure this relationship, you're going to be feeling great. If you don't want to, okay, you're going to be feeling weaker and weaker and weaker through the rest of August, guaranteed. Energetically, physically, the entire thing. That's because you're not bringing clarity. But if you're willing to bring the clarity and tell the truth, and I'm telling you, especially if you do it that first weekend, Lionsgate, around the 7th, I think the 7th is a Sunday, but like anytime, 6th, 7th, maybe that other weekend with the full moon, 10th, 11th, whichever one, right? If you can bring the clarity there, and then you're like, okay, good, I'm on the right track with my romantic relationships. Let go of karmics, talking to my counterpart again, or whatever, you're good. Then what you're going to be called to focus on, because you're like, but Christina, I just did that. Like, what do you mean there's more? It's like, yeah, God's like, adjust yourself. There's more, okay? There's more. The next thing you're going to be asked to travel towards is understand you're worthy of what? Of coin. Many of you are, and not just coin, of the true financial endeavor you want, the true career you desire. Many of you get envious of not just your feminines, but other people in possibly the public eye. I picture many of you, it's like lawyers, doctors. I talked to someone the other night that works for a crematory or something like that. Like something about people that have passed. Like it was just fascinating to me. She embalms people. And I know that sounds strange, but like this idea of like her and I were talking, and I'm like, how do you feel? Do you feel the bodies after they pass? She's like, yes, I do. I feel the energy so strongly. The things family members leave, I do. And she's like, the energy is so real. And so ask yourself, okay, like flip this upside down. Do not be envious of others. Ask yourself, what do I really want? And then tell source that. Be like, because many of you have already done this since you were children. This is my dream to do X, Y, and Z. It could be politics. It could be something to do with environmental issues, just public relations, PR, HR. Like there's something here that feels very significant for you. And so don't be envious of others. Just look to others and be like, no, that's going to be me. And manifest the shit out of that because it's coming for you. Especially if you did the emotional work in the relationships. Now you're moving into financial and mission work, okay? And this is like a whole nother thing. And if you can start to step into this, I will tell you, I'm not kidding. By the end of the year, by November, December, you're going to see massive. I feel like October. If you really step into this, you'll know by October there is movement here. But if you're fully in it, you're going to really see results by December, January timeframe. So yeah, step into that. But Virgo season starts on the 22nd, and then, like I already said, and then the Virgo new moon is on the 27th. And that's what we really want to focus on. So the release on the 11th of like, I don't care if my counterpart takes me back or not, I'm going to speak the truth because I know I have to do that to release this within me. Do that first. And then by the 27th, you're at a place where you're like, okay, let that love stuff go. Now I'm in a place of mission work, of what I really want. And many of you, by the way, King of Swords here, you're being called to like lay the sword down to bring justice to the world. Many of you have a really keen eye for where there is injustice and imbalance in the collective. And I don't even think you understand how intuitive you are when it comes to that. And Source is guiding you and asking you, no, do this publicly. And as a minute ago, I kind of like stuttered over like, oh, what are the dates? It's like, I feel like that is your energy where you're like, but me? Like, I kind of get nervous, I get shaky, I get stuttery. I want to adjust my, it's like me. I've gotten criticism before. Christina, you touch your hair too much. Christina, you do this. This isn't right for you to be on social media. You're not doing this right. And my response is, no, God tells me I'm doing it right. And I'm going to be me. And yeah, maybe I move my hands too much or I this or that. I'm going to continue to do my journey the way I know I am being called to do my journey. And that's the place you need to get at. Is you don't need outside validation for what it is you want to do in this world. And you're going to do it in a different way. I just feel like that Scorpio energy of like, you're rebirthing. I mean, we have Pluto return going on for the collective right now. That is Scorpio energy. If you have Scorpio placements on top of that, like, holy hell, you're powerful. Dive into it. Stay above the conflict here. But many of you, you're not traveling forward because there's still some form of jealousy, envy. Look at this. The Queen of Wands, you think other people get it. Maybe you think feminine energies get this more. You just watch them. You don't do. No, don't do that. If you do that this month, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it, okay? Virgo season is demanding as we move into that. Leo season, all of it, it's demanding you to get very clear on what it is you want. To really say it. Hey, I want to be really high up in my career. I want to be really high up in this or that, but I want to do it in the greatest and highest good for the entire collective, in service to the higher realms. I want to co-create with the higher realms. And I understand that I cannot just openly like be super, super spiritual all the time. I'm going to have to like just know intuitively I'm getting these downloads and then ground into 3D and communicate that in a way that's very logical, which masculine energy is amazing at. And that's what we need more of. Me, it's like I know my job is to be on TikTok, on YouTube, on social media platforms, and sharing these messages openly. But I know when I speak to certain people, I was talking to someone about technology and like communicating with a school of informatics and trying to learn about technology and algorithms and how I also believe energy is shared in that and how that affects spiritual awakening. I have to be very mindful in how I communicate with these people. I cannot be over the top, like in their face, like, no, spirituality is real and God's real and I had dreams and I know this and my crown tingles. No, I have to pull back and be grounded in my masculine energy and be like, yeah, I hear you. Even though I know my truth. I know what's real, right? But we're co-collaborating in order to find ways to serve the collective. So ask yourself how you can do that this month, okay? Let your guard down when it comes to this, all right? Many of you have thought about this. You've thought about the feeling of this, the Magician reversed, but you're not taking action yet. But I kind of feel like that's what you're supposed to do this month. Don't take action quite yet. I feel like that's more September, October. But for the month of August, once you reach out to that counterpart, whatever, finish that cycle, okay? That's what your feminines had to do too, by the way. They didn't step into mission work until they fully told you how they felt, irregardless of if you were going to choose them or not. You're being called to do the same thing in your feminine energy. Tell them how you feel, regardless of the outcome, and then move forward into mission work, okay? If they're connected with you, great. If they're not, okay, right? Don't be afraid of that. But start to think about the magician upright is someone who also takes an action. All 3 steps of manifestation: thinking, feeling, and action. But right now, don't do that yet. I feel like no action yet till September, okay? But right now, I want you to think really small here. Start small, but understand, even if finances were not an issue, if you knew that even if it started small, God would be bringing you a ton of wealth and abundance on the other side, would you do it? Would you be up for the challenge? Yes, you would. You're Scorpios. You're all about rebirthing yourself. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful, wonderful month of August. This feels good. This feels good. I don't sense like third-party energy. I don't sense like drama here. And by the way, if you have third parties going on, like, just go. Just go. You don't get it yet. But those of you doing the work, I'm really proud of you. Okay? I love you. I will see you back next month. I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel.